and say hello, everyone and no one. I'm not blowing my own ears out because I actually made sure I muted the stream before I started. But welcome to another Rotten movie review. Today, you're reviewing the movie It Could Happen to You. With me, as always, because of everything that happened last night and everything, is Rotten Corpse. Tier Corpse, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Rotten Corpse. How you doing?
Oh, not bad, Rotten Corpse. We have with us Angela. Angela, how you doing?
You both suck.
I'll let.
And then the last one,
I
and the last one we
I
have,
love you dearly, but
and obviously we have with us as well as Rotten Corpse. How you doing, Rotten Corpse, James?
Yeah, doing good, Rotten Corpse. How are you, Rotten Corpse?
I'm great, Rotten Corpse.
Oh, not so bad.
I hate you all.
Well, we're gonna go into it. Okay, so again, It Could Happen to You, 1994 movie. Um, I definitely enjoyed this movie. You know, Nicolas Cage, Bridget Fonda, Rosie Perez, Wendell Pierce, Isaac Hayes. I forgot that
Isaac
he was.
Hayes.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was so cool.
yeah.
That's the only thing that saves that movie from being trash.
Dude,
Is
Richard.
Isaac Hayes.
Richard Jenkins, the lawyer for Miss Lang, is a great actor.
Yeah,
He's an asshole in his
yeah.
actor, but like, he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He's
Red
another one of those
button.
iconic assholes.
What's up, Badger?
Hello.
What up, Ben?
What's going on, Angela?
Dude, red buttons. That's all I have to say.
I don't know what red buttons are, but okay, I'll take a word for
I
it.
absolutely love red buttons. The guy that played Nick Cage's lawyer at the end of the movie.
Oh,
He is one of my all-time favorite actors ever.
and the frickin' Seymour Castle, Jack Cross, the one that Rosie gets with at the end of the movie, who cleans out her fucking bank account.
Thank God.
I fucking saw
and
that
there-
shit coming from a mile away. I was like, she's gonna cheat. It's like she's either gonna cheat on him, or she's gonna get in with him, and he's gonna fucking just take her money
Yeah,
because he's a
it
shyster.
couldn't happen to a nicer bitch.
Well,
Indeed.
the fact that I don't like Rosie Perez, I'm just going, sweet.
You don't like anybody.
I do too.
Oh,
I did not like that character. I have
didn't like
seen
that
Rosie
either.
Perez as people that I liked. I hated this. Oh, like I said,
I don't know why they
take
had her
her
do
for a
that
walk.
voice.
That's actually her voice,
Oh
dude.
God,
that is her voice.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for
That's
her.
actually her voice.
But to go over a
Uh.
little bit of this whole thing for anyone who hadn't seen it, or that, it's basically you have a very, very wholesome character that Nick Cage actually plays. It's pretty nuts, where he promises to share half his winnings of a lottery ticket if he wins in lieu of a tip because he didn't have enough money to pay for the coffee since they got a call to go away and to pay for the tip. And she chose that, and because of everything that happened, the couple, or the Cage and his wife, which was the Rosie character, or Rosie person, Rosie Perez, had won $4 million because of all the others that had won it as well, and picked those numbers. So he gave her $2 million, and with everything that goes, he ends up falling for her. Like, they're actually a really good couple
Yeah,
and everything. But
Yes.
this is surprisingly, this is a movie I would recommend. And especially for the fact to see Nicolas Cage playing absolutely wholesome character. But you guys,
Finally.
Tier, you go first.
Oh man, like you said, it was nice to see him playing a wholesome. Well, he played a few wholesome characters. He just a complete outstanding guy for once in a blue moon, which is fucking great.
Hey, Johnny, and have a good night's sleep.
Hey, okay.
Johnny.
I fucking hated Rosie Perez's character. Right, of course, Hellcat.
with a driving, burning passion.
Yes,
Like I said, I wanted him to take her for a walk in the subway and just not
push on the
be less
third rail.
be enough to have her fall on the third rail.
Angela, why do you say such the sweetest things ever? That
Hey,
was
I
that was
didn't
poetry.
tell him to push her onto the third rail. Just it wouldn't be a
Not help
bad
her.
thing if she yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thing if she fell there.
I agree. She was a complete utter bitch in this.
Oh,
She really was. There was no nothing.
the
There was
funny
not a single redeeming quality about that character.
no, but the funny thing is, this is actually loosely based on a true story.
Oh God.
Mm.
That's why I said
Loosely based, like how
loosely. Let me get there. Hold on.
Okay.
You're getting too excited.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
I'm
about
sorry.
to get into it. You don't have to start doing the fifth degree. But no, it was a Phyllis Penzo and Officer Robert Cunningham. She worked at a restaurant and a pizzeria in the Yonkers, New York, for like 24 years as a waitress. He was a 30-year veteran of the police force. He was a regular there, and well liked the staff. In 1984, he had asked her for help of picking the winning lottery numbers. She suggested 3. He came up with the other 3 on his own. He jokingly promised that if he won, he would split the winnings with her as a tip. The next day, to a surprise, Cunningham and his wife came to dinner with a lottery ticket in hand. Cunningham ticket had won $6 million. He split with Penzo, giving her $3 million. In real life, however, as stated disclaimer in the movie, Cunningham and Penzo were both happily married to other people for many years.
So loosely.
That's where it's loosely, the wife wasn't a raging bitch. And and her husband technically wasn't a piece of shit. So they were just good friends and they stayed that way.
It's a good story.
Yeah, I think I like the it could have I like the movie version a lot better. It was more
I like the original story a lot better, because that's a good heartwarming story. That shows that there's decent people in the world.
James, you have no heart. Like, what are you talking about heartwarming?
I said there's decent people in the world.
Oh,
You
sorry.
said it's a
I'm just not one
heartwarming
of them.
story.
Well, you gotta have a
You're
heart for
trying
it
to
to be
figure
warm.
out.
And
I was gonna say, Tier's trying to figure out how you know it's heartwarming if you have no heart to be warm.
well, I kind of like it with James on that one. I'm kind of a little more with the original story because then you don't have the drama. I mean, yeah, it doesn't make that much of a movie when there's no drama in there, so they basically had to go with that.
I was gonna say they had to build the drama because otherwise,
it would have been boring as fuck.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can go off that, but then it wouldn't have been like a romantic comedy. It would have been just a comedy, basically. I'm sorry, a romantic comedy drama.
And you'd still have to at least make his wife a bitch because there has to be some type of conflict.
Well,
yeah,
Hollywood thinks there has to be some type of conflict. Everyone has thought there has to be some type of conflict. There really doesn't, because the whole movie could have been basically about how they won and what they did with the money and how like they grew as people or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be that one person.
But there
is
has to be a challenge to show growth. Otherwise, there's no story.
So, one of the rules of storytelling is conflict drives story. If you're going to just tell a straight documentary of the events, it's not a dramatization, nor is it. It's just a straight documentary. It's just you stating the facts, like a news story. If you're going to tell a movie story, something that you're going to do into a movie, you have to have conflict, or you have to have some sort of obstacle that they.
Oh, the conflict could have been them disagreeing and how they want to spend it for like good deeds or improving whatnot. That would have been their internal conflict. It still doesn't have to be that someone, one character is just utterly a raging bitch.
Oh yeah, I agree. but it's still some sort of conflict that needed to happen. Like again, like you said, it could have been, that we don't know what we're going to spend the money on. We're going to give to this charity, or we're going to give to that charity. And it's formed a little rift between the two, and at the end they repair their rift.
Yeah.
But something has to happen.
Yeah.
Or it's fucking boring. But again, I doesn't stop me from liking it.
I loved it. I thought it was great. It did make me think of a couple of movies that I would like to watch with you guys.
If you say Steel Magnolias, I'm gonna scream.
I'm not gonna say Steel Magnolias. I think you guys should watch that one on your own and then talk to me about it.
I have a penis, and if I watch it, I think God is going to come down directly and revoke
and
it.
take it away from you.
Like he's just going
Steel
to say,
Magnolias is the original. Steel
Actually,
Magnolias is a good movie.
really?
what?
Yeah, it is.
What original Steel Magnolias?
The original movie, Steel Magnolias, with Julia Roberts and
That's the
Sally
one I'm
Field.
talking about.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I've
one's
I
a
didn't
good
seen
know
it
one.
there
with my
wasn't an
grandma.
original. I didn't
It's a
know there
remake.
was another Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, they
It is.
remade it with an all-black cast
I did not know that.
and turned it
But
into a series.
Huh.
what I was actually gonna say is
Hot damn niggas ruin everything.
it's called Dear God.
I love that one.
I know. I know. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure James is the only other person here that's seen it though. But it's actually a really good movie. You can't say that the guy is wholesome. He is definitely not, at least at the beginning of the movie.
1996.
I believe so. Greg Kinnear is the main character, or the main
Yeah,
actor.
because there's actually a couple different ones in that. But yes, Greg
There
Kinnear
are.
is in it.
Yeah, it's the one with Greg Kinnear, Hector Elizondo, the chick that played Roseanne's sister, the cop
Darlene?
sister. No, the cop
No,
sister,
Roseanne's sister, not her
not the
kid.
daughter.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The one that went on her with the trip.
Oh, what's up,
Yeah.
Frosted?
Yo, Frosted.
Steel
Hey,
Magnolias.
Rotten Corpse.
hey, Rotten Corpse. How you doing, Rotten Corpse?
Rotten Glass.
Oh, bite you both.
He's Rotten Glass. That's Rotten Corpse. I'm Rotten Alexander. He's Rotten College.
Trusted, you've reached the one time where you are not the most despicable person in the room.
Well,
This is
we're
my
all
brother.
Rotten Corpse. We're all despicable.
This is my brother Rotten, my other brother Rotten, and then that's James.
But he's also Rotten.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good movie. I think you guys would actually enjoy it. It's funny, it's clever, it's basically a redemption arc.
Eh,
Though James apparently disagrees.
it's a good movie. I like it when a shitbag is a shitbag, and you know, because even at the end of that one, he's still a shitbag.
He is not.
He bet on his own. He bet. Okay, they're gonna have to watch that one, and then I'll explain why he's still a shitbag at the end of the movie.
Oh, Lord. Mom, Dad,
But
don't fight.
anyway,
Unless you send me a tape, that way I can watch it later.
just out of curiosity, has everybody got all the wholesome shit out of their system over this movie?
I like how he was with the kids.
I loved it. That was so good.
I liked how he knew that they were getting robbed and everything. Cause he's just like, yeah, he said his wife. It's like, yeah, he said his wife's sick. Yep. He's like, that one will be working if she was dead. And he gave this to me for free. Yep, he getting robbed.
Yeah, he's getting robbed. I love how he threw the Campbell soup at him, though.
Yeah. Why didn't you
Okay,
shoot
are you
him?
ready for
Too many. It's like too
Are you
many
ready
people.
for the asshole's point of view on this one movie?
Go ahead, asshole.
I didn't like it. I don't like
Oh,
Rosie Perez.
Wow.
I don't
Shocker.
like Rosie Perez. I really didn't like her in this movie. I think that if your first option to cast Rosie Perez in anything, you've got a shit movie on your hands.
Damn.
That's
What if
first
she
and
was his third?
foremost. Huh?
What if she was his third?
But it's going to be a shit movie then.
Well,
But
maybe they found
she
somebody
shouldn't be
unlikely.
cast in anything.
At least nothing where she's supposed to talk.
Exactly.
God damn.
Or be seen.
I
James, you
think
really
she's
like her.
pretty. I think she's pretty. I just don't think she needs a speech coach.
Yeah.
She needs
She needs a
elocution.
lot.
She desperately needs a speech coach.
Frosted, we've already gone over not only the original Wicker Man and the Cage Wicker Man, we also went to basically the pseudo sequel of that of wow,
Fucking Midsummer.
Midsummer.
Oh, God.
My mind tries to blank that out all the goddamn time. Like, but the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man was one that did not need to happen, and everyone goes the whole not the bees thing, not realizing that that's actually part of the director's cut, if I remember correctly, like the special edition.
Yeah.
The theatrical release is a little bit different.
That movie sucked that movie made no fucking sense. Again, that's
Yeah.
Honestly, I saw that movie like a million years ago when it first came out. And I remember that it was not good. But I think my mind basically blocked it out
yeah, see,
because it was
that's
that not good.
you know what, Angela? You see, the human mind is very unique, and when there's something so damaging to the human psyche, it will literally cut that part of your memory out and isolate it,
Yes.
Now,
keeping
the
you sane.
original,
And that movie is proof.
the
Exactly.
original Wicker Man made sense.
Yeah,
The Midsummer made sense.
it was
Barely.
a drug
But-
I
abuse, but it
hated
made sense.
Midsummer.
But the Nick Cage Wicker Man made no sense. The world would have been fine without it.
Yes, it would.
I
Although we
completely
still wouldn't have that great meme. Not the bees.
You know what? At this point, I want the bees. Bring the bees. All the bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as this movie goes, didn't like it.
For just one
You just
character.
don't like because Rosie Perez is in it.
I mean, honestly, it was just a little too convenient. You
Oh,
know,
no.
No.
It's a fucking
ex-husband-
movie.
the husband comes back, she goes to a hotel, the guy gets kicked out, he goes to the same hotel. It's just too convenient. There
That's
should have been
Because
something.
it is
God.
like the most
Dude.
famous Shishi hotel.
Yeah, and it's also a movie. Of course they're gonna do things like that. Like, that's part of what they do in this shit to try to make it seem like it was so random or things like that. To be like, oh, blah blah. It's like, yeah, it's a movie, bro.
It's happenstance.
The only more
Do you get mad when you pick up a book and it's printed with words?
Well,
Only
no,
when the words don't make. I have thrown Stephen King books because of the ending.
That's
You
because
mean
very
the
rarely he can
fact
write a
that
good
he
one.
cannot end a story.
yeah.
I will give him credit and say flat out the way he ended the Dark Tower series was not bad.
Oh yeah, that
I-
was a good ending. because that was foreshadowed in the first book. That ending was foreshadowed in the first book.
Okay.
I'd have to reread
I
the
have
first book
not
again.
read through.
At the
Neither have
end,
I.
when he says, well, when he has the meeting with the man in black, and
Wolf of
he
Kala
tells
was the
Roland,
last one that I read.
What?
when, at the end of the first book, when he catches up with the man in black, he says, "What will you do when you reach the Dark Tower and find there is nothing at the top of the spire?" And at the end of the book, it starts all over
So
because there was nothing there.
so in other words, it's a self perpetuating loop.
Yes,
Sort
pretty
of,
much.
but it changes slightly each time because of basically him completing it. It's almost like a new game plus in a way. He just doesn't remember it, but some of the things that he regretted in his past because of being able to complete this journey, he's able to go and do then.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are like your replay on Detroit becoming human.
So it's a temporal paradox. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
He's forever trapped in a self actual. God damn it, Justin, speak. A self actual. Fuck. You know what I mean.
I know what you're saying, Tier. You don't have to actually say it.
And I'll still say, like, while the Dark Tower movie was entertaining,
It was crap.
yeah, for the actual storyline, it was terrible.
It was ass.
If it was called something else, been fucking great.
Yeah, it would have been a great sci-fi ride, but to put that piece of crap together and call it the Dark Tower, first off, you cannot cram all the books into an hour and a half movie and call it the Dark Tower.
Yeah, you're not even
Just can't do
cramming
it.
all the books. You're cramming like
Bits and pieces.
pieces of all of them, and Randall Flagg doesn't die that way.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that the thing that irritated me about that one as well is the fact that, okay, going into my whole gun nut or nerd thing again, the gunslinger Roland Deschain, his weapons or his revolvers, while usually depicted as like a single action army style revolver, it's not. They're based off of Model 25, so a 45 Colt version of Dirty Harry's gun.
Ooh. Do you feel like it? Well, do you?
Christopher Lee was in Star Wars Episode 2 with Samuel Jackson, who was in The Spirit with Ava Mendes, who was in The Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. Connected both Wickermen. Well, you'd have to connect because Christopher Lee was the villain in that one.
You have to connect the hero.
Yeah. Well,
Now,
kind of
again.
hero.
Now try again. Okay.
The protagonist.
Cool. Come again. But the right answer.
Thank you. Come again.
But anyhow,
God,
you are
every so
figuring
bad,
out that I take the negative path on these things. Even if it's a good movie, I'm going to take the negative path because it gives us something to talk about a little longer.
I mean, it was definitely annoying for her character, and then the way the news went about it, of basically trying to say of all the shit that was being done.
Yeah. I like the headline, so it kind of gave me that airplane vibe.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, it was a decent movie. And just, there are certain things I didn't like about it. Mainly Rosie Perez. I think about Rosie Perez like I think
Wow.
about a good dose of food poisoning. Have you ever had food poisoning and went?
A
you
good
ever
dose
had-
of food poisoning.
Yeah, have you ever had food poisoning and went, damn, I'm glad that happened to me?
No.
Not ever once.
Okay, that's how I feel about Rosie Perez's acting. Never have
Damn,
I
Jamie,
said
you
that
don't
she's a
like
good
her.
actress.
That's because you don't outright lie.
Look, I never said she was a good actress, and I don't claim it. She was in some decent roles in my youth, but I'm not gonna write home and say her word praises.
I'm
I
really
didn't.
sorry. Excuse me.
I didn't even like her in White Man Can't Jump.
I
So I
hate
don't
it.
even remember her in that one.
I'm trying to think. I know I've seen her in something that I liked her in. I just can't think of what it was.
Was she in a coffin?
No, she wasn't in a
Never
coffin.
seen the Pitch
And yes,
Perfect.
she actually did talk.
Jungle Fever.
What?
She was she was one of Spike Lee's go-to Latinas in the early days of Spike
Okay,
Lee.
she was in The Other Guys. I just don't remember what she did in The Other Guys.
Probably blew a other guy.
Ah!
What I say?
Apparently, she's not one of the main casts.
Clearly, if you don't remember.
Well, because Ava Mendez was the one chick, or one of them. Because yeah, in The Other Guys, it just says Rosie Perez. Where the hell you at, woman?
Are you sure you want to find her?
Apparently, she plays herself in the movie.
She plays Rosie Perez in a movie.
Yes.
She plays Rosie Perez, playing Rosie Perez, playing Rosie Perez.
I really, really wish this was one of those ones where they auditioned people to play her and she lost.
Man, damn, Bangarang.
Oh yeah, Road to El Dorado. I forgot that she was in that. And I didn't hate her as Chuck.
She was the lead female.
But she didn't use her regular voice. She actually did something different for it. So I don't
So
hate
maybe
it.
she actually got a voice coach.
Highly
That'd be
plausible.
nice.
I haven't seen Pineapple Express, or at least enough of it to know the female cop that she played for that one.
She was in Harley Quinn, the Emancipation of Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, or whatever the hell that dumbass movie called that no one wanted to see.
In Road to El Dorado, you also don't see her. You see a thick animated woman.
Okay.
And apparently
wait a minute. Isn't it racist for her to play a Mesoamerican, a Mayan, when she's Hispanic?
She's Puerto Rican.
No.
Yeah, the Mayans. That's not Mayan culture.
Yes, the Mayans are the birthplace of the Mexican people.
Yeah, but she's Puerto Rican. They're not.
I was gonna say that's where your problem comes in.
Okay, she's in a movie I definitely
she's
want to see that I don't know how big of a role she is. The Dead Don't Die, the zombie movie with Bill Murray and Adam Driver.
Okay.
I was going through a thing. I was like, Dead Don't Die.
Darth Wannabe.
What?
Darth Wannabe. Adam Driver.
Oh,
Yeah.
Darth Wannabe. Okay.
Emo Vader.
God, I don't think. Wait a minute. From the South again, I don't think you particularly like Adam Driver.
I don't.
I actually don't mind Adam Driver. I just don't like that character. He killed Han Solo, and he can eat meat sideways.
Well, that character was just an abomination that Disney should have never let happen, but Disney's retarded.
To be fair, Adam Driver is a good actor because I liked him in with that one night where he was with Matt Damon. I can't remember the name of the movie. He played a knight to Matt Damon. They were knights. and one night was on trial for like rape, if I'm not mistaken, or adultery. I can't remember. And I liked him in that. So he is not a bad actor. He just got a shitty role.
Yeah, that's really what
With
the
Adam
problem is.
Driver, I don't really hate the dude as well, considering the fact he like God, I can't remember what the hell his name is. We're former military that all end up going into acting and whatnot. He's also done a thing for like military members and I think even veterans that are trying to get into acting of like to help out for them.
Mm-hmm.
What's in the military?
Yeah, I believe Adam Driver was a Marine.
Well,
Kylo Ren could have been a good character until they did a bunch of stupid shit for him.
No,
yeah, but I mean,
no.
correct me if
Kylo
I'm
Ren could have
wrong.
been a character for two. Could have been a great character if only they did two things. They didn't make him a whiny bitch and didn't make him Han Solo's kid.
Well, there was a stint in the original expanded universe to where they didn't, they didn't have one child. They had, I think, three in total, if memory serves me correctly, because two of them were twins, and the male did fall to the dark side for a little while. Because the sister's the one who brings him back.
Yes.
But obviously none of that matters because all of that got thrown out the fucking window.
Because Disney wanted this fillet itself. It wanted to take something good and turn it into something shitty.
Yeah.
Disney can burn in hell. With the Raylos too, just to be safe.
Because that's like for so much shit in... God, I hate that stupid fucking heart on the goddamn one thing. Yeah, he's Marine
that's
Mortar
pain
Man.
in the ass. Whoa.
Because then the guy who played the head bad guy or whatever in the remake of 21 Jump Street that I still don't necessarily hate, that had oh god, what's her name? Now the fucking Miss Marvel.
The Brie
Brie
Larson.
Brie Larson, like she actually, like, I liked her in that one, and I also did like her in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I actually liked her. She because she didn't have any lines. She had maybe 4 lines, and the actual song wasn't her singing, but it was a nice ass
Actually,
song.
no, that was her singing.
Not bad. I'd fuck her.
And the funny thing is actually for that song, which is a cover, if memory serves me correctly, or that they had actually,
Yes.
she actually did recorded a whole, and the entirety of that whole song.
Yes, she did.
I'd fuck her. I'd fuck that character, not her. Fuck her.
And Rob Riggle is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, Rob Riggle, who played, the main
Oh,
actual
him.
antagonist. Yeah, like, if I remember correctly, yeah, he was a Marine Corps Reserve Lieutenant Colonel.
Yes.
And he actually did go through some other stuff as well in there. Yeah, that dude has done a whole bunch of different stuff, and he's...
I loved him in The Hangover with the taser training.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the face! Oh, man. That was a good movie.
What
I wonder what happened to that gal for next.
Take your little tiger sniff.
Yeah, just...
What?
Disney's fucked up a whole bunch of shit. But I've always enjoyed it, like, seeing different freaking people that, it's like they actually did some shit in the military, and then when that's still not as bad as that Asian dude who was a Navy SEAL, an astronaut, and a doctor. I think I'm missing one more. Yeah, he became a doctor, then ended up joining the SEALs, became a Navy SEAL, or joined the Navy, becoming a Navy SEAL, and then he got into NASA and whatnot. It's like, his parents are gotta be proud as him as hell, but all his siblings have got to be fucking pissed.
Why you not like your brother? He astronaut, doctor, Navy SEAL.
And no matter what, any of their friends, unless unless they like invent something that saves saves someone's life or whatnot and everything, it's still gonna be hard to top. And like, oh, you see, my son, he was Navy SEAL, he doctor, he also astronaut.
Oh, we go. Your son, he manager at Walmart. Oh, you must be so proud.
Oh my god.
Oh, he now top bit. He now CEO of Enron. Oh.
Switch that over there.
Oh wow.
That. But all in all, I still will say, going back to the frickin' It Could Happen to You, actually pretty fun movie. I will still say, other than Cage's interactions with the kids, the two best scenes are either the rollerblading one where he goes straight into the water, and the fact that he didn't faceplant shows his own balance. But the absolute best
Amazing.
pinnacle fucking moment was when Rosie Perez is being a bitch because she's doing all the shopping and whatnot. And she comes out in the fur coat, and there's a fur is murder thing, and they fucking throw paint on her.
That
I
so
laughed so
cool.
goddamn hard.
That was so good.
Bitch get what she deserved.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just kind of wish that Spike Lee wouldn't have been a dumbass, but because he's responsible for Rosie Perez.
You would think if Spike Lee wasn't so fucking woke. Wow.
Spike Lee and when he was doing all of his had all of his hits. I think that the way Chris Rock played the director in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
I remember that
movie.
I got a couple of girls right now in my trailer that want to part in my next movie, and I know exactly what part I'm giving them.
Oh, jeez.
And Frost, yeah, I agree with you. Hamill is too old for his character to be playing, the protagonist type thing. So he should be playing the wise. I'd almost say more of a Yoda than a Obi-Wan thing. Where basically he's giving counsel.
You know what would have been an interesting arc for Luke? In the books, he does turn to the dark side briefly, and then he learns to master it, and he forms the new Jedi Order, where he goes have attachments, have emotions. They don't hurt. Suppressing them is what harms us. Having them.
Well, they also find that later on, per the canon as well, that one of the things, the reasons why the Death Star was originally made, wasn't necessarily just to get everyone else to do that. Was the frickin' force that was coming on, that like really the only force powers that could really hurt them were dark side powers. Like they weren't affected by everything else. They were fucking insane.
What was it? There's a fan theory that I like, is that Plagueis saw the future and he told Sidious, and Sidious realized that the only way for anybody to survive was to the dark side to win. Like, the Jedi could do it, but it was 50-50. But if a Sith was in control, it would more than work. And that's why we built everything.
Because a Sith would make the choice that needs to be made, and not try to wager it.
Yeah. And that Anakin was key to their survival. That's why he was like, shit, Anakin's down. Oh, we're fucked now.
Well, with everything as well, since the way the Sith worked, they even brought up that a lot of the Jedi's power had stagnated and everything for the growth of what they would do. And the Sith were the only ones that were typically growing more and more powerful, because they would have to basically usurp by having the only two Sith.
Yeah, the rule of two.
Even though originally, if I remember correctly, per what was considered original canon for the longest time, Sith was actually a race.
Originally, it started off as a race, and then when the original Sith fucked off the parts unknown, the Dark Jedi took up their mantle as Sith to differentiate them from the Jedi and form their own order.
Yeah, And that definitely would be pretty cool for us. So that's why the only way they're going to be able to do that is if they either go way far back into the past or way far into the future, which is what they should have done. Honestly, after Return of the Jedi, they, in my opinion, should have just stopped the fucking storyline for the Skywalkers.
They should have, but there's fertile. So between the events of Phantom Menace and the Old Republic, there's like 50,000 years of fucking fertile territory they could explore.
Yeah, and there's also a fuck ton afterwards they could go through as well.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
then
then
you could still have, Mark Hamill reprise his thing as Luke and like basically hologram things of, discs that were showing or, to be taught to future Jedi or whatnot.
holocrons.
Yeah. They were records and whatnot.
Shit, you could have that. That's how the new main character learns Luke's signature move of Shatterpoint.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't do that. See, the problem is Hollywood lost all the creativity and originality, and that's why I want it to burn. It's stagnating. It needs fire, cleansing fire.
Honestly, I think they're, well, not doing exactly like that. I basically think in some cases they're kind of trying to do the Uwe Boll thing.
Ugh.
To where they know the movies aren't as good as they could be, but they know they'll make money.
If anything,
that's exactly what they're doing. They're saying as long as we slap Star Wars or Marvel or whatever label we put on this, people are gonna come see it and we're gonna make money.
But lately they haven't been making money. Like everything
That's because people have gotten tired of it. They're tired of paying addition. Because I will go and see a movie in the hope that it will be better.
Well, and that whole thing as well, like
But
there's
we're
enough
tired of wasting our money and seeing shit film.
So there's been enough people that have said flat out, why not reboot these franchises that didn't do well and do them actual justice? But obviously they're not going to do that. That's why every time the Disney's like, we're going to do a live action remake of this old movie, I don't tell anyone to go see it because there's no reason. I know to go see it. The only reason they're doing it is so they can keep the fucking IP.
But that's not even true because shit like Snow White and Alice in Wonderland, they're public domain. They only own the rights to the character's likeness.
Yeah, and that's what they don't want to happen because, like, I saw a thing about the Pooh Blood and Honey. I want to watch this movie because it's fucking retarded. From what I can see of it, I mean, like for a horror movie, it's absolutely retarded for a lot of that shit. And I'm like, of course, something like this has to be set in England because I know far too many people that I'm going to be out in this like cabin that's more secluded in the woods and whatnot. Well, I shouldn't say cabin. That's like really nice house that's almost seems like a rental type thing. I'm not going there without a.
Robin was Englishman.
Yeah, it's like, but I'm not going to go there without a fucking gun.
See, that's the thing I dislike. Taking childhood things and turning them into adult things.
Yeah.
Like, Pooh as a horror movie, Winnie the Pooh and 100 Acre Woods as horror movies don't work. Because Winnie the Pooh is set in everybody's mind as this lovable bear that loves honey.
Yeah.
It's like taking Sesame Street and turning Sesame Street into a fucking slasher flick. It wouldn't work.
There is a game that just came out. I know they were talking about before.
You talk about My Friend in the Neighborhood, but that's not Big Bird, and it's not like seeing Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
Strangling the bitch. You know? It's easy when there's a brand new set of characters that don't have an established history and an established image versus having Oscar the Grouch be this wise sage when he's always been this dick.
Hey, Oscar the Grouch was always a wise sage, thank you.
He was just a dick.
But you know what I mean. You know, have him be this kind, gentle soul when again he's always been the dick. You know, it breaks the image of his character, and it just pulls people out of it. But having new characters like the My Friendly Neighborhood who don't have this established history behind them, you can do the whole horror story moment. You uh fucking
Basically, it's
Five
just
Nights.
going through to ruin what people loved.
Yeah, but think about Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a play on Chuck E. Cheese, but it's not Chuck E. Cheese. You see the parallels, right? You
Yeah.
can see. But if you were to have a Chuck E. Cheese horror movie, people would be like, that makes no fucking sense. You know?
Oh, and Frosted, if you want to see a quality Nick Cage movie where Nick Cage doesn't even actually talk throughout the entire movie, you should look
Willy's
up Willy's
Wonderland.
Wonderland.
I didn't see it yet.
Best Cage movie ever. My headcanon is that it's fucking Ghost Rider, but he can't use his Ghost Rider powers for some odd reason. That is my headcanon. He is incapable of using his Ghost Rider powers. It's my headcanon and I'm sticking with it. That movie is fucking awesome.
That was
And
fun.
I found that through a whim. Drive Angry is another good Cage movie.
I
wish
haven't seen that
And
one either.
That one had Amber Heard in it, and she's not a raging bitch. Like, she
Ugh.
actually did
Yeah.
pretty decent in it.
That was before she started buying her own bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, Willy's Wonderland was the movie. I think it's both me and Tyr were talking at the same time for that one.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it
Drive Angry
happens.
was a phenomenal movie.
Drive Angry was a fun movie. Honestly,
Again,
Drive Angry could have had a sequel.
it should have had a
Yeah,
sequel.
well, it should have a sequel.
It should be Cage and the David Fincher's character
Yep.
as a buddy cop movie doing shit for the devil. Like, all right, Color Out of Space wasn't bad either.
They also gotta have. They have to have another scene like they did with the shootout
In the coin,
in the hotel room.
Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
They need to have another shootout scene like that, though.
Now I'm trying to remember if that one came first or if Shoot 'em Up was before that. Because Shoot 'em Up did something similar as well. Okay, Drive Angry was in 2011. Pretty sure it was Shoot 'em Up. Shoot 'em Up. Yeah. Okay, on that one it seems like they took that aspect from Shoot 'em Up, which came out in 2007 with Clive Owen. Yeah, the Willy Wonka thing should have been left alone. I'm still annoyed by the guy who went through and said that Snowpiercer is actually the sequel to the original Willy Wonka's long. And then his second thing that does like a 2-hour thing of it that I watched was just an entire thing of talking about one director from North Korea for the most part. Which, granted, it was very informative and very cool, but it's like, you some bitch.
what happens if the engine stop? We all freeze and die.
Oh, he. Yeah. Yeah,
it is very Lovecraftian.
And shoot 'em up though. They go through and Clive Owen's character with the basically finds a baby or helps woman deliver a baby, and then uses a Walther PPK, otherwise known as James Bond's gun, to cut the umbilical cord. It ends up jamming on him, so he calls it a piece of shit because he also did audition to play James Bond. But I believe that's when it went to Daniel Craig.
What a waste of
But
fucking
yeah,
energy.
he basically goes to Monica Bellucci's character, who is a whore that still lactates, to help basically with the kid. And in one scene of it, basically he's banging her and moving around and shooting and killing a bunch of people like that, or that happens basically like mid-sex scene. But instead of being like drive angry to where he's like, I never disrobe before a gunfight, he's straight up naked.
What happens is that we all freeze and die.
For Cage, yeah, I've definitely heard Color Space looks pretty good. I also heard he was pretty good in the oh fuck, Renfield.
I really want to see that.
I want to see him in The Old Way. I want to see Nicolas Cage as a cowboy.
A cage cowboy.
Yes. Apparently he is one of the main characters and whatnot, although like the other ones that they're saying, like the other stars you have in there, you have Philip Aguirre. I think it's probably saying it wrong. Ryan Kira Aguirre, yeah. Ryan Kira Armstrong, Clint Howard. They got some people in it. Oh yeah, Paul Giamatti as the villain in frickin' Shoot 'em Up was hysterical.
Paul Giamatti is a treasure.
I love Paul Giamatti. No. You tried to do that before. No, he's not.
Oh,
we looked it up. Because you seriously almost screwed up my night that night, dear.
I'm sorry, I thought it was dead. Somebody.
No, you were thinking of Paul Sorvino.
Okay.
It's like, no, we're not doing this again. That almost messed up my night once before.
Paul Giamatti was in fucking Planet of the Apes, and it was fucking hilarious. Like, his character was fucking funny. I loved it.
You guys can judge me, but I absolutely
we always
love
do.
the movie Lady in the Water.
Okay, I'm judging you. I'm judging
Paul
you hard.
Giamatti was actually really good at it.
Angela, you are being judged.
That's fine.
Hard station.
That's fine.
Yes, the movie to where the woman wants to bang the water monster.
The woman is the water monster.
No, what you think is Shape of Water.
Shape of Water, yeah, that's it.
That's where she wants to fuck the water monster.
I get those two confused sometimes.
Lady in the Water is the storyteller is M. Night Shyamalan's character, and Paul Giamatti is the guy that's supposed to find the storyteller so they can tell the story of the water nymph and save the universe.
Well, the author is actually going to write a novel that is in the process of writing a novel that's going to save the world somehow.
Yes, save the universe.
But he's going to be assassinated for writing it. But basically, the Lady in the Water is a mermaid nymph type character that has the ability to see aspects of the future.
Yeah. It looked alright.
I really liked it. It was a good fantasy set in modern times. And it
was a
had
good
several
RPG movie.
actors. It had several actors that I really enjoy, including the guy that looks like you, Tier.
I was saying, Frosted as well, Giamatti plays not only a good villain that looks like he's holding back homicidal rage, he also plays a good comedic villain, like in Big Fat Liar?
Okay.
Yes. I also really liked him in duets.
That's
Did you
right.
ever
You
see that
showed
one?
me that scene from
What
that.
movie?
Duets.
I don't believe
No,
I've
I,
seen it.
It
It's
had
apparently a karaoke movie.
It's a movie about a karaoke and how uh what was it? Shit, I can't think of his name. Huey Lewis has a daughter that he didn't really take care of or anything.
okay.
Well, he finally goes on a road trip. Basically, it's a road trip movie with a purpose. Um, yeah, it's a really good movie. It's a not well known, but it's still a good movie.
Okay.
I didn't tell you anything about it, but other than it has Huey Lewis and Paul Giamatti in it, but it's a good movie.
And that it's a good movie.
It has boobs.
Boobs.
Which means that it's probably an okay movie.
It's a good movie.
What's wrong with
You'll like it.
I don't know.
boobs are awesome. Boobs are the best thing in the world. They're just fucking phenomenal.
I know.
Like, you gotta be a real heartless monster not to like boobs.
I
What?
know.
What?
You got to be a
I,
heartless monster to not like boobs.
Oh yeah, and
Um,
Bryce Dallas Howard was in M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
yeah, she was
that man.
also the mermaid
Yeah,
nymph
because
thing
she was
in Lady in
also
the
in
Water.
Twilight and Jurassic World movies. She's also Kate
Yes.
Connor in Terminator Salvation.
Oh,
Kate Connor?
Yes.
uh,
Apparently she
Okay.
John
was in
Carter.
the movie The Help. She was in the movie 50-50.
Yeah, she was a bitch in The Help.
I'm pretty sure
So,
that's
so
how
she
she
was
was supposed.
okay.
She was the one that the maid ended up making her the
Uh,
special chocolate cream pie.
what was special about the chocolate cream pie?
Was the maid.
Oh no.
It
Apparently
was,
she was in a movie
it
with
Food.
was
Matt.
what?
Let's say apparently she was also in a movie with Matt Damon called Hereafter. It's a drama centered around three people: a blue-collar American, a French journalist, and a London schoolboy who are touched by death in different ways.
Okay.
AKA art film.
Yeah, most likely. Well, it's a
So
drama,
artsy
fantasy,
fartsy.
romance, so there's that.
But Angela, what was special about the cream pie?
Oh
Was
God. No, 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 no. Y'all can talk about that one off stream without me here. No, thank you.
Now I really want to know what the hell was special about the cream pie.
I
James,
have no
don't look
idea.
at the chat.
Look at the chat, James. Look at the chat.
Negatory.
Jesus Christ, glass. Fucking frosted.
Rotten glass. What
Oh.
are you talking about?
Uh,
See, I can't even see the YouTube chat.
Oh,
Which
Yeah,
is probably good because
who gave
it's
her a cream
probably
pie?
a good idea because Frosted probably said what I just said in chat.
oh, so probably like James shouldn't probably take my idea of trying, like, if he can afford it, picking up like a little netbook or something, so that way he can do these without his phone overheating.
He just needs to stay out of the side chat for a little while until
Sorry,
until that message goes away.
you can delete it.
Okay. Did you see what it said?
Yeah.
I can
I've
delete
seen
it.
worse.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
grosses James out, so. Huh.
Again, I've seen worse.
I worked in a prison, so quite honestly, all that fecal shit just really turns my stomach now. We had an
I
inmate that he was so thrown off that he used his own shit as modeling clay.
ugh.
So yeah, you can see what my adversity meant to it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
having to smell that for 12 fucking hours? No, thank you.
I would have to agree, James. That is a little
Yeah.
gross.
But we haven't gotten anything. It's just going to be artsy movies, Frosted. It was one of those things that I was like, huh, what's this thing called? And or this thing that she's in that looks like it has Matt Damon. It turned out it
Man,
didn't.
Dude.
I
good
still
job.
I still love for that movie how they had originally planned to make Matt Damon's character like smart and polite and everything, a little bit more of how he actually is in real life, and then when they saw the puppet, they're just like Matt Damon, because like Matt Damon's actually a pretty smart dude. He's still a bit of a dick when it comes to a lot of things. That's like him and Ben when he wrote the
Goodwill Hunting.
Goodwill Hunting. It actually originally had a gay sex scene between his character and Ben Affleck's character, and they put it in there just to see if the studios actually read the fucking script and whatnot.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a test.
But they also founded the Greenlight Project to help struggling actors get work.
Oh yeah, some of them actually do some good things.
Yeah, but still, I want it all to burn to the ground. Burn.
I mean, granted, currently I would say out of all of Hollywood, the best person there, surprisingly, is fucking Ashton Kutcher.
Ah!
Ouch.
Well, you also know he has an entire organization dedicated to.
I know. It's the Blue Campaign. Every year, I have to do a class on the Blue Campaign. So I know about the Blue Campaign. Trust me.
You know, and he's not going out there, hey, donate to this. It's just like, I think there's ways to donate to it if you want to, but he doesn't have to. Or it's like, you don't have to.
Like, he actually takes, he has, like, I'm not going to say him directly, but his actions and his organization has led to people being found and saved from these horrible lives. So, yes. Like, I'm not going to knock him. And what is his fucking face? The not Colbert, fucking Jon Stewart, when he was advocating for the the burn victims of fucking 9/11. Those guys.
Not just the burn victims, but anyone who basically survived, especially for the firefighters and whatnot, because there are some of them that, you know, they have irreparable damage in that whole thing, like, to them because of what they did and how much they sacrificed. It's one of the few ones where it's just like, yeah, dude, like, give them what they need for medical coverage. Like, basically, it should be if they walk into a hospital because they have to get something, it's just paid for.
Yeah. So again,
Like,
there are some things.
In all reality, I think it shouldn't cost them anything, and let the fucking hospital use it as a goddamn tax write-off.
I can agree to that.
But then again, for some of that as well, I still think, like, especially majorly disabled veterans should get that as well.
Honestly, I think all veterans should get that. It should be. You put your life on the line for our country. You should get that. Just me. I mean, I could be wrong.
I mean, I still need to go and find out how much I'm actually supposed to get for disability, because technically I'm supposed to get shit for like my hearing and some other stuff that I've had for the fucking military. Probably also the fact that, I spent total of like almost a year in total for time or closer to in Bagram, and they burned everything there. Plus, when I was over in Africa, they fucking burned everything there as well. And Africa was weird, being so close to Djibouti, but I wasn't allowed to leave camp to go there. But it's kind of
in Djibouti?
I was near Djibouti.
Why are you near Djibouti? Well, get away from my booty.
Nah, get out of my head, dear.
Don't fight it.
But thank you. I'll be here all night.
But yeah, when I was there,
Did you jump?
what's funny is the fact that just for being there, because it's it was 11 degrees north of the equator in the Horn of Africa, and the reprieve was having being out at night because it was sub triple digits finally. The real funny thing is we had a dude who was bitching about how much stuff, like how bad everything was and everything. Then all of a sudden one day he comes out. And we were expecting he bitching about something, but he's like, man, the wind's calmed down. The sun's not too bad right now with it being a little overcast. It's a pretty nice day. And we're all like, you got heat stroke, don't you?
He's about to die.
Like, you were not bitching about everything.
Wow.
I still think it's funny because of like being in the military and the way I traveled for so much shit in the military, kind of. Whenever I'm looking at the whole thing for dating apps, and I always see all these women, they're like, oh, I love to travel, I want to travel the world and whatnot. And I'm like, I'm done traveling for the most part. Like maybe once every few years I want to go out somewhere. Otherwise, I couldn't go. Oh, Frosted, I'll still tell you, for being in Afghanistan, for Bagram, since that's actually surrounded by mountains, it's really nice. And actually, when you can see over the wall, it doesn't look too bad. Just the people there are kind of insane.
Well, it's fucking
Kind
Africa.
of?
What do you expect?
He said
Full of black
Afghanistan.
And-
That's the Middle East.
Which is part of Africa, if I remember correctly.
It's also Asia, depending on.
It's close enough. But the Horn of Africa wasn't bad as well. I mean, I didn't realize how close we were to the water because you couldn't see shit at night. And then all of a sudden the sun came out, and it just seemed like at that point God was just like, get fucked, mate. Because it was hot. And I got to meet this Indian dude. I will actually say dot, not feather, because he had the dot. Super nice dude in the smoke when I was bullshitting with the smoke pit. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty nice right now. It's about to get hotter. And, my upper Midwestern ass was just like, oh, dear God, no.
Shit, I like the heat. If I could live anywhere in the world, I would live that somewhere that's nice and warm all year.
Okay. Warm and hot as fuck are two different things. When it is triple digit temperatures and the humidity because of being right on the ocean is basically 100%.
Okay.
Like quite literally, you take a shower, get out to dry off, and you dry off with a towel, and you're still wet.
Okay, that would be fairly annoying.
It's fucking nuts. That's also when I saw my first mongoose. But looking out at the ocean was pretty cool. Like,
Okay.
I didn't mind living in Okinawa. I'd have rather been in a different part of mainland, but it's like Okinawa was pretty dope, but it was shitty when it rained because once it was stopped raining, the humidity fucking doubled. I don't mind the 70s for the heat, Frosted. But I much prefer cold, and I know Monkey wants to be the one to be like, I don't know what the hell is wrong with all you people. It's like, dude, we understand that you're a fucking lizard and you need a rock to sit on in the sun. You know,
I guess
you
I'm a
do
fucking
better
lizard too.
do better underneath the heat lamp. But I will also use this old adage of you can only take off so many clothes before it's indecent exposure.
Exactly. I'm like, there's only so many clothes you can take off until you get arrested.
If I'm in my
You
own
can
home, I can take
always
them all
put
off.
on another sweater.
Yep.
Well, when I'm in the privacy of my own home, I can take them all off.
Yeah.
But you
That's
can't
different.
stay in the privacy of your own home all the time.
Yeah.
I can stay in there long enough to get what I need to get done and cool off. I'll go out when I need to. And then I'm back in my house where it's nice and temperate.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
don't have
but
it at like
then you
fucking
have all
night.
that.
Yeah, like what temperature do you have your house at? Is it in like the 70s or is it in the fucking 90s?
My house is in the 80s currently, and I don't have air conditioning, so I'm ecstatic and content.
Hmm.
When the fucking winter hits and it gets cold as ass.
Wow.
I put on all the clothes. 4 layers,
Uh,
8 layers, 20 layers. I must be born a fucking lizard or
I
something.
will say I won't lie. The fact of like living in New Mexico for as long as I did, and they still got winter. We still got snow where I was. It just was all drift snow because it's flatland. It was the plateau of the
Mhm.
country. But then spending that amount of time in Okinawa, like, dude, I came back in January, like late January of 2021, back to Michigan in the middle of a fucking blizzard. Was like, oh fuck, I am super bitch compared to what I used to be for winter.
Super rich. Ah,
It is
sorry.
fucking cold. I'm not even arguing
Yes.
that.
Again, Baltimore when Maryland gets fucking
Uh,
seasons.
Technically, Frosted, where I was in New Mexico, was still north enough that we were close to Texas. We were basically West Texas since we were 10 minutes from the West Texas border. But Clovis, New Mexico still gets snow. Like I said, it's just drift snow. You can also look up the I believe it was called the tumbleweed apocalypse. Happened one year in Clovis, New Mexico, where there were so many tumbleweeds they blocked people's houses on one side. That's also what happened with one of our winters once, to where it snowed a lot, but like I said, since it's drift snow, it just drifts until it hits something that quite literally we had to dig out our front doors of our hangars, and then also as well, or like the hangars and buildings, and even go and dig out people. Like, it was one of the few times in my military career I actually had a snow day to where it was like, don't come into work. It also sucked because I had lost power for a while, but luckily I keep fucking shit for that anyways. Still, I would take that over the typhoon that I was in Okinawa, to where I lost power for 3 days. So I lost what little I had in my fridge and freezer of food because I had just gotten back from a TDY in mainland. And I survived for 3 days on basically, yeah, for about 3 days on a Cliff Bar each day and a 2 liter bottle of water.
Jeez.
And then, like, finally it was going into the fourth day to where the typhoon was far enough that it's like, okay, we can kind of start doing shit again. So it's like, I didn't care that it technically was curfew, that I was out after curfew as a 30 something year old. Oh, yeah, that one I want to say was 35 time. So like a 34, 35-year-old man who was out past 2 a.m. or I think it was 2 a.m. was our curfew or whatever.
Wow.
Technically, it was we had a curfew if you were below a certain rank, and I was the cusp of that rank. But of course, officers, they don't have that whole thing. And yes, this one person who went through OTS and through college, this 24-year-old that's now a brand new Butter Bar LT, they they are okay to go out and party and do whatever all night long. But me, the guy who'd been in the military for fucking 10 years, I don't know how to act. I mean, granted, I've known chiefs that don't know how to act in public. But yeah, I went to the freaking first Lawson's I could find, or like Lawson's or Fan Mart that I could find that was open and got food and didn't care. And if I'd have dealt with courtesy patrol, if they'd have been like, sir, you know it's after curfew, right? Been like, bro, power's out in my house. That's like in my apartment. I have no food because I got back from. It's like I barely have any food there because I got back from a TDY. I'm gonna get this and go home so you can eat a dick. And 10-1, most
Either
likely the
I'm gonna
courtesy.
James,
I'm pretty sure courtesy patrol have been like, just go back to your apartment afterwards. Have a good night, sir.
Either I'm gonna eat this or I'm gonna eat you.
I miss fucking going to the Family Marts and Lawson's. I could go there and spend like 1,000 yen, so about $10, and get a full fucking meal, drink, and a dessert.
Wow.
And it'd all be heated up as well. I would typically go there, get one of like their spaghetti things, and go get myself a spiced chicken, like piece of spiced chicken or breast and whatnot. Grab a big old like freaking, almost like 500 milliliter can of Coke Zero or something, and then grab a big ass Kit Kat bar that they had, where it's the one Kit Kat.
So
Like
it's just
the
a
big
kit.
cat.
It's just a kit, not a Kit Kat.
Oh god, like I do miss the food there. I miss my ramen joint. Although with the ramen
I've
I've
had
been making,
ramen. There's a ramen shop that I'm going to tomorrow for
Nice.
lunch.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a ramen place here that I absolutely love.
you are the closest one to be able to do something to actually go. You might have to look it up, and I don't know exactly where it's at. But if you look up, I want to say it's Koko Ichiban. Lovingly referred to as by most people from there as Coco's. It's a curry place, and that whole thing. It did different ones, and we used to have Coco's Coco's Thursdays. That's when it was typically done for when, if we went and got food outside of there. But then the ramen place I went to that was near one of the Navy camps, they did more of a broth style ramen, and they had a curry ramen that was really good.
Eh.
It was good enough that I'd take the freaking gyoza that I got and I just plop it in the broth and let it sit there for a bit, then eat it. But since we've devolved into food and all sorts of other nonsense,
And James is passed out.
Yeah, he is.
probably we're gonna call it here. I will still say that this is definitely a recommend. It's a pretty fun movie if you don't like Perez.
Steer clear.
Steer clear.
Or mute when she's on screen.
Yeah,
She gets hers in the end, so you might want to watch it.
yeah.
That's true.
I mean, granted, you don't get to see it, but you do get to hear it.
It'd be nice if we got to see it.
Next week we will be doing Trapped in Paradise, and so it's gonna be
Yay.
Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey. I'm actually looking
John
forward to this one.
Lovitz.
I like Dana Carvey as well.
Oh, no, okay. Now I remember. It's not Dana Carvey I dislike. It's Andy Dick. He can burn in hell.
Yeah, Andy Dick is a terrible person. In general.
Yes, he can burn in hell.
Yeah.
Dana Carvey is Garth.
Yes.
Yes.
He was also in the movie Master of Disguise.
He
Yes,
was the master of disguise.
But don't forget to check out people's stuff on the interwebs and YouTubes. So we're all on Twitter. There's a link for that in there. Angela's the only one who doesn't do anything for YouTube or Twitch that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Yet.
I did ask
Yeah.
Quiz for that spreadsheet finally.
So when that happens, we throw in her in there. So go ahead and go ahead and check them out. Check out your favorite YouTubers and whatnot. We're gonna call it here, and I think probably after Trapped in Paradise, we'll start doing it. I think when we go to do the Tremors series, we're just gonna do that one in full for the until it's done. Do like 2-3 episodes,
Okay.
and then that. And I'm looking forward to playing or to watching that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching
Me
that
too.
too.
I haven't seen the series. I've
I-
seen the movies
Yeah, I've seen
from here on out.
all but the final movie, and then the supposed reboot that the Sci-Fi Channel tried to do.
Okay, I didn't even know about that until you told me about it. So.
Yeah, we've gone over that one like 6 times for a lot of that shit. And then once we're done with the Tremors Tremors TV show, we'll go back into some Cage for a while. So eventually we're going to get to where it's the newest stuff, and probably about like the 2018 or 17 is when we'll have to slow down on his shit, because then it's, getting into territory to where it's not as good if we're looking for it. Where I can plausibly get in trouble. I mean, granted, I'm not showing the movies, so they can kind of suck a dick on that one.
They can eat a dick.
Well, I know that there's a lot on Amazon Prime if you want to try watching through me.
Oh, I've got Prime as well. But we're going to call it there. Hope everyone has a good week. And yes, I do agree
Definitely.
Frosted Winter is best season.
Fuck you both.
Fall is
summer-
best season. Thank you.
No, summer is best season.
Fall.
Summer.
Dude, summer is
Fall.
terrible because there's a whole bunch of mosquitoes and everything, and there's children everywhere because they're not in school.
And there's my annual Lobster Woman from Mars impression.
Again, but all y'all are warm-blooded creatures. I'm part Baltimorean snake. So
Don't say that. James is terrified of snakes.
Baltimorean spotted nigger gecko, I guess.
Wow.
A rare breed, and I don't like the cold.
Oh, I'm not saying that you have to like the cold. I don't know why so many of y'all get so thin-skinned about that as soon as, like, I'm saying I think that the winter is the best season, and you're like, oh, no, it's not.
Because I haven't shed yet, and this skin is very thin. It's starting to molt. So I need
I
to.
say fall is Halloween time. Fall is best season.
But any other parting words?
Go see the movies. Go to the movies. Go get popcorn and a soda.
Honestly, in that one, I would say bring your own personal food in. 'Cause they
Yeah,
charge way too
actually,
fucking much.
sneak in your own food. Buy a drink there.
I want to watch
'Cause it'll
Hollywood
be
Burn.
colder. But go see a movie in the theater. It is a wonderful experience. Beautiful place.
I would just say don't go to, I want to say it's, depending on where you live, that one I want to call, if I remember correctly, it's called the Alamo Movie Theaters. They're kind of neat, but it takes away from the movie experience, in my opinion. The whole being like able to order
the ones
food
with the
and that whole thing.
servers in the theater. Oh.
Yeah, that just was a no thanks to me, or no thank you for me. Well, we're calling it there. Have a good night, everyone. Hopefully you have a good work week. And Ranting Monkey's probably on or something. There's all sorts of people you can watch to take up your time. So have a great one. Or
Good
something
night,
or other.
everybody.
As I point at my screens for no reason. Like I'm looking into a camera. Have a good one, even though the camera's
He's
pointing
doing
different ways.
finger guns. And
You're doing
everything.
finger guns. Bang bang.
Oh, what's funny is like I'll point the one finger, then it's like, I'm like, why am I doing that? That should be a knife hand.